Hi, I'm Rob Power. I'm the winemaker here at Creekside Winery. And I want to talk to you today about Syrah, which is the grape that Niagara is not supposed to be able to grow. The thing about Syrah is, the Australians own it as Shiraz. We could go over to vintages right now and randomly grab 10 $25 bottles of Shiraz, and most of them would be absolutely gorgeous. Because of that, they associate it with hot climates and they don't think about it in Niagara. Now, from my point of view, it's actually an early ripener in the Niagara spectrum of reds, which is to say we're picking it about the same time as Merlot and before Cabernet Sauvignon and Cabernet Franc. So that makes it very suitable in Niagara as long as you can get it through the winter, which it's a little bit winter tender. This is a single vineyard wine from our vineyard up in St. David's, our Queenston Road vineyard. And the thing about St. David's, the St. David's Bench appellation is about as far away from Lake Ontario as quality vineyards get in Niagara. Why does that matter? That matters in the winter because then we're as cold, like we have no protecting influence, we're about as cold as it gets. But in the summer, and especially in the fall, when we're in ripening weather, it stays warm because it's not sitting next to that ice bath. I can tell you from experience that when I'm out sampling vineyards in late October, when it's time to pick Syrah, some of our vineyards closer to the lake, I've got my coat on. When I go to Queenston Road, I take it off because it's still warm there. And that is why that is such a great site for Syrah. The Iconoclast product line was originally put together at the behest of a man named Will Predum, who some of you might remember from Canoe, and he wanted a single vineyard Syrah for their by the glass list. We've carried on the tradition, and what this wine really amounts to is, now it's going to sound negative the way I put this, but it's the things that didn't make the cut for broken press and unbroken press, which are our two single vineyard reserves from that vineyard. But it's not just like we take the ones that weren't up on that upper tier and then just chuck them into this. We then go through a secondary tasting for this product line. And usually this is a very high quality and great value for money bottling. In 2016, because it was such a great vintage, it's, put it this way, it's the one that I take home all the time and drink with my own dinner. It's at, in the mid-20 price range, it's a fantastic value, both in the Niagara context and I believe in the international context. It's medium-bodied Syrah. It's not a big, thunderous Syrah, as is the case always with Niagara Syrah. Acidity is in play, like there is a good strong wall of acid along with the tannin, which makes it a great food wine, which makes sommeliers happy. It makes me happy too. But all in all, it's an expression of the vineyard and of Niagara in a ripe year. And years like 2016 and 2020, by the way, when Mother Nature does her job, our job is to just kind of get out of the way. So, cheers. Hope you enjoy it.
Awesome. And the particular characteristics we can look in this wine, there's always a little bit of violet, there's some nice dark fruit,
there is a little bit of Viognier in this cuvee, barrels that were considered for broken press. So you might find a little bit of an uplifted apricot character as well. Tree fruit, apricot, violet. Niagara Syrah is not always about fruit though. In this particular vintage, there is some black fruit, some brambly fruit and things like that. But it's also, there's also the meatiness, those other things that aren't, you're not flinging basketfuls of fruit at it, but it makes it a delicious wine. A smoked meat, pastrami thing going on as well. But the thing, and we should also talk about pepper, which for some people is an indicative thing of underripe Syrah. I don't believe that at all. Because if you taste the fruit in the vineyard, it goes through a peppery phase and then the pepper dissipates and then it comes back. So in the case of 2016, this is one of the more peppery ones that we've done, and it's also one of the riper ones. So another thing that makes it interesting is that spicy element for food matching.
It's great stuff. Thank you.
Well, my pleasure.